Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Moisturizer. If you have ever struggled with makeup sliding off oily skin or fading by noon, this tutorial is for you. Today I'm showing you exactly how I create a long-lasting soft glam look on my oily skin client, from skin prep to setting spray. Let's get right in. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Moisturizer, and today I'll be taking you through my full client makeup routine for oily skin. We're going for a soft glam finish, think flawless base, diffuse eyes, a glow that won't budge. I'll be breaking down every single step and sharing pro tips I used on sets with my bridal client or potential client. Okay, if you love makeup content, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll drop new tutorials every week. I started off using this lovely product from the Sephora. It is a cotton pad that helps to smoothen your face and also hydrate the skin. This is one of my favorite products for oily skin. Yes, it's important to work on a clean surface, and it's also important for you to be mindful of the products you are using on oily skin clients. Okay, when that is properly dried, I went in with my hydrating spray, which is the Nuban Beauty Setting Spray. This spray is another must-have. It helps to really hydrate the skin and to prep the skin. And next off is this moisturizer. It's a drugstore product. It's the Health Moisturizer. This is one of those moisturizer that if you are an oily skin person, you need to have this on your everyday routine, not just for makeup. But I love this particular moisturizer because it's just perfect under makeup. Not all moisturizer goes well with makeup products. These are some of the basic tips and pro cons you need to understand when working with an oily skin client. And then you need to massage those products gently into the skin. Oily skin need balance, not stripping. I start with lightweight products. I start with oil-free moisturizer like this one, the F that I'm applying and blending now. Then I go in with a mattifying primer. This one is my ride or die for reducing shine and gripping makeup all day. Yes, it's also very affordable. It's a Nigerian brand mattifying primer. It's called the V Beauty primer. Okay, remember, for oily skin you need to focus the primer on the T-zone and let it set before foundation. Next is foundation application, and I went in with the MAC Cosmetics Avour and L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to be mixing these three different shades of foundation because for foundation you want to use a demi matte formula like these three products that I showed you. MAC is perfect, Avour is very mattifying, is a Nigerian brand, and then the L'Oreal True Match is a water-based lightweight foundation. So imagine mixing these three shades, what you are going to get. Okay, know this and trust me, your foundation game for oily skin will be amazing. Okay, I apply all these three thin layers into my palette and then I blend that gently. You can see the palette is as if that there's nothing there. Each pump I took from each shades of the foundation, so I just use my round foundation brush. This foundation brush is a Nigerian brand product. It's called the Yanga Beauty. I like this foundation brush because it makes blending to be easy for me. Trust me, for oily skin you want to do more of tapping the product on the skin rather than rubbing it. When rubbing it, if you remember very well, you've already applied different layers of mattifying product underneath the skin, so you don't want to rub off. You only want to dab. Place the product gently on the skin as you are seeing it, as I'm doing it, gently from one section to the other. Place gently. When you are done, then you go in with a damp beauty sponge, which is also called a damp beauty blender. This helps your foundation to sit properly all day without caking and without breaking. and then I went in with my contour. It's time for highlights. It's very important that you highlight those face properly. It helps the face to have proper structure. As you can see the process of the highlights, all these areas I am applying this Nuban Beauty concealer on are the areas I am going to highlight, and this brings proper structure and shape to one's face. Just make sure you know the right place that you're applying this to, and these are areas that light usually bounces on. Okay, these are also your T-zone areas. I like to go in with a brush to just blend that gently. If not, your client will start tearing up and start crying, and then again, another pro tip I need you to pick from this video is that make sure all products that you are using are products that work for oily skin. This will help your makeup to last longer. Okay, and then as you can see, I just use the brush to start blending. And another pro tip I need you to pick out from this video, this makeup tutorial, is that when you apply your concealer, let it to sit for some seconds, probably 20 to 30 seconds. This will make it have that feeling that cream product, cream contour or cream concealers. This will make the product to have that texture and feeling. Okay, so let it sit for 30 to 60 seconds before you blend it out. Trust me, try it out and let me know. And if you've ever done this or if you've ever tried it out, let me know in the comment section. I will be waiting to read your feedback. So when I'm done using a brush, I went in with my beauty blender and then I dabbed that gently. And yes, make sure in anything you do, you have one of the best beauty blenders, soft one. It helps with blending. You can see there are no magic to these things. You just need to keep blending. Blending is key. You are seeing how gradually what did not make sense initially is now making more sense. Please keep blending. Don't be in a hurry. Just blend. And then setting spray is non-negotiable. I do a layer of setting spray after my highlights and contour for oily skin, and then I wait for it to dry a bit and then go back to the beauty blender and just keep blending, which is what I'm doing now. And this helps to calm the entire look, because trust me, for an oily skin client, you don't want too much product. You want it to be skin finish. You want it to be looking like skin. And then next is setting. You must set after application of concealer. Trust me, you have to set. You can skip baking, but you cannot skip setting. You need to know the difference. Okay, so it's time to set the entire face, and because she's oily skin, I usually set the entire face using a translucent powder. Did you get that? Let me repeat it. Because she's oily skin, I usually set the entire face using a translucent powder first, because this helps to absorb oil later. You can see how I'm using a translucent powder to just blot the entire face. This is important if you really want a long lasting look for your client or even for yourself. These are professional tips that you cannot skip. It's okay to use your compact powder, but you should only use your compact powder after setting using a translucent powder. And then next off is me going in with this Charlotte Berry powder in shade 02 instead of using 01. I don't want the other eyes to be overly bright because I am also going to bake, and I will use a lighter shade of powder. Understand this tip and trust me, your makeup game for oily skin will be changed, transformed forever. Trust me. These are important makeup tips because these days people spend a lot of money on makeup booking and they want value for their money. So after collecting a client's money, it's important you give them value for their money. And people want makeup that are long lasting, and these also have a lot of reputation to play on your brand. A client feels fulfilled when they know you can give them guarantee for their money, like money well spent. Okay, so these tips are tips you should put into consideration whether you are a beginner or a professional. Okay, so it's time for sculpting of the face. I'm done with setting. This is now baking. Okay, and then what I did was I applied the Loramencia setting powder under a zygomatic bone under a chin, which is what I'm doing now. Bake all the areas that were initially highlighted. Okay, and then when I'm done with this process, I proceed to using a mascara wand brush on the eyebrows. Initially she had a microbladed brows, but I use foundation to cover it because there is a way I want to draw the brows that will suit her hair and her face shape. I'm not saying her initial microbladed brows is not fine, but I like to cover it so that I can achieve the results that I want to achieve. Remember, it's a soft glam. So time for eyeshadow application. First off is applying an eyeshadow primer, and it's important for you to blend that gently. So I'm just using my hand to further blend it after applying with a brush. And then I went back into my MAC Cosmetics powder in the shade Dark Deepest. This is the MAC Skin Finishing Powder, and that's a shade that I use to contour her entire face and her nose. So I'm just using that same powder at the bridge of her nose and also on her eye crease. When it comes to the eyes, there's another pro tip I need you to follow. For soft glam, I love warm browns, which is what I've applied on the eye crease, and a pop of shimmer on the eyelid, which is what I'm doing now. This helps to keep it fluttering and not too heavy. And this is an eyeshadow gift from a friend, Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette is a bomb, is a blast. You can see that I took a shimmery shade from it to apply on the crease, but yet it's still looking as if there's nothing on the eyelid. That's how powerful this particular product is. Although it's an high-end brand, and then of course as an high-end brand, I expected it to perform, and it really performed. The money worth if I would say that, yeah, it's value for money. So I just used this Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow on the eyelid, and that's all. I kept the eyes simple, and as you're looking at it, the eyes is as soft as the wig that she have on. And then I further went in with my razor blade to uplift the outer corner of the eyes using a brown shade, and then a fluffy brush to just blend gently. Next off is the brows. For brows, I'll do a separate video teaching you how to draw different kinds of brows. On today's own, for brows, what I usually do is I use my gel liner, my brow gel liner in the shade brown from the Nuban, and then I just apply it on top of the brows, under the brows. Yes, you can see that is gradually taking shape, and then when I have the desired shape, and then I also go light-handed in case I need to correct any mistake. And then when I'm done with that, the excesses remaining on the brush, I just use it to fill in the brows, creating little feather-like stroke. Okay, and then what I did on the right hand side is what I'm also doing on the left hand side, which is you create your line, the arc, and then you go on top and also do same thing that you did below, and then you fill in the inside. It's quite easy and simple. I'll just dedicate one particular video to brow, show you different type of brows, whether the feather stroke, whether pencil, whether brow gel. I don't know which of them you are comfortable using, but for me, I am comfortable using a brow gel because it also make the makeup to last longer. Pencil usually clean off, especially when you have a hug sometimes from a friend, but For brow gel, they never wipe off except you use a makeup remover to take it off. So the excesses remaining at the back of my hand, I just use that same brow gel to line the lip. It's important you line the lip properly. Okay, always make sure you line the lip properly. And yes, another pro tip here is that you can use the remaining excesses of your brow gel on the lip. Yes, what I use on the brow is what I'm using to line the lip. It shock you, Abi? It is possible. Learn to also manage what you have and drop the habit of buying every little thing you see. Okay, and then I went in with the Beauty by Germs lip stain. Yeah, in the shade Ephemera. I apply that on her lip. This is one product that is very blendable. If you don't have it, go get it. Okay, and then when I'm done with that, I later went back to the brows to just highlight the brow bone, apply the remaining concealer that I used for the highlight and contour on the brow bone. You can see the difference. Most people skip this part, but trust me, I always do it because it just gives the face a different kind of lift. And then I went back using a brighter shade of powder to just brighten the outer corner of our brows and our eyelid. In case you are wondering, I do not highlight top of my brows. I only use powder to keep it clean and well shaped. Okay, and then when I'm done with that concealer, I also went back to a palette powder to apply powder on the brow bone. You need to understand that anywhere you apply concealer, you just need to set with a powder. Okay, and final is the setting spray from the Nuban. Remember this spray, the first time I used it was at the beginning of the makeup before foundation, and then I used it after foundation, and boom, now again at the end of the makeup. And then I will allow it to dry for a minute or two, and then I go in with a finishing spray. You need to understand the difference between a setting spray and a finishing spray. This helps to lock the entire makeup in place. And here is the finished look. Classic soft glam with a base that stays matte but still fresh. This is my go-to method for clients with oily skin who needs all day wear kind of makeup. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please drop a comment if you have tried any of these techniques, or let me know what you want to see next. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay blessed, be happy, smile often, and bye, guys. Mwah.